Hello there. So China knew exactly what Putin was up to then. It's now being alleged by US intelligence that China knew a lot more about Putin's plans to invade Ukraine than it's letting on to. With reports that Beijing was well aware that Putin's plan was to invade Ukraine and that the Russian president was asked, or maybe told, not to go in until after the Beijing Winter Olympics had ended. And as an aside, I've got to say that the way modern sport is now being politicised again is pretty shameful, and it's leading to some dodgy countries with poor human rights records being given the honour of hosting events, like China and Qatar, for example. Anyway, according to the Telegraph, it's not clear whether it was President Putin of Russia and President Xi Jinping of China who were discussing this, or whether it was their officials. If the latter, it makes it even worse, because they would all have needed to know Putin's plans. And remember that Putin and Xi Jinping had a physical meet-up in Beijing at the time of the start of the Olympics on the 4th of February. That's 20 days before the invasion, while Russian officials and diplomats were still telling the world they had absolutely no plans to invade anyone. It's all just pre-planned exercises, they lied. Anyway, China might now be cooling in its attitude to Russia, with the Chinese state media talking about the invasion of Ukraine, while Russia still maintains it isn't an invasion, as it lays siege to cities and bombards civilians, including schools and universities. While the Chinese foreign minister is now also calling this event a war. All the Putinistas out there will now have to condemn China for lying, won't they? Now, the Gatestone Institute says that the most potent and offensive insult that can be levelled at someone is to call them a paskudniak, a Yiddish insult that loosely means horrible person, and according to linguists, it is a powerful insult that should be used with great caution and only be levelled at the worst people in history. And the Institute says that Putin has now rightfully earned that title. Now on to the Russian economy and the effect these sanctions are having on it. Reuters reports that the ruble is still weakening and is another 9% down on the dollar so far today, and also that the financial ratings agencies Fitch and Moody's have downgraded Russian sovereign debt, that is Russian government bonds, down to junk status, making them virtually worthless on the international markets. And the Russian central bank has slapped a 30% commission fee on anyone who buys foreign currencies, presumably to stop Russians trading rubles for dollars, something that would tank the Russian currency further. And hapless foreign investors with billions tied up in Russian bonds and shares are stuck with them because Moscow is preventing their sale, or more accurately, preventing a fire sale of Russian stocks. And now there is talk of Putin imposing martial law in Russia itself. Not exactly a sign that he has the backing of the Russian public, is it? And a sign that he expects the Russian economy to tank and take Russian public opinion of him with it. On top of that, there is also talk of mutinous murmuring amongst the Moscow officials, many of whom are getting more and more unhappy by the hour as the fiasco of Russian involvement in Ukraine unfolds. Now, I understand that Moscow denies these reports of imposing martial law. Well, they told us 10 or so days ago that they'd never invade Ukraine, didn't they? So I'll take that one with a bucket or two of salt. But now, after a telephone call between President Macron of France and President Putin, we learn that the plan is for Russia to seize the whole of Ukraine, and that worse is to come.